Good morning, beautiful. I do hope that this finds you well rested and ready to begin your weekend. This is the Weekend Tarot and Oracle, the weekend insight on life and love for October 23rd, October 24th, 2021, also being timeless. So wherever you're catching it in time, it could be really relevant or an absolute S show. It is what it is. All right, it's general, collective. Don't force this to fit your life if it does not fit your life. These are not all going to make sense to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there, and that's fine. So if you have found your glorious way across this, what do you need to know? Like, what is happening in this time, this time frame of your life? Again, general, collective, never force this to fit your life. I'm going to kick this off with Rider Waite. The mini reads that I did as a batch before this, it was really interesting. It was talking about slipping back into some crazy pattern that was probably not good for you, but also it was talking about separation of some sort of connection, or it's been in separation, the reason behind it and what it's building towards. So let's see where this reading is going to go, because the readings have been going into the mini reads and it feels like one extremely long reading. So let's listen. Don't even sweat it. Again, if it doesn't make sense, don't fit it. Don't force it to fit. All right. What do you need to know? Very productive. Very productive. Okay. So I really like this, but let's see what this is gearing towards. This is so far really good. The mini reads would have given a huge indicator of how different this could be, but you know what? Every card I'm looking at, it's productive, it's happy, it's getting all of those, pieces of straw off your back. I think you've been carrying a lot for quite some time and now you're dropping it all, which I can totally dig. It's no longer going to be backbreaking. So what is going on with this? Like, what is the big why with it? It's not a failure. Rejection is protection. I'll say that every time. Trust me, it took me a long time to learn that. I came into life looking for certain things and never ever finding them. And I always took the rejection of whatever it was that I feel that I wasn't getting very personally. It was never personal. Even when it's projected to be personal, it's not personal. So it's not a failure. It was a huge, huge karmic lesson. I think that you're still probably at the tail end of learning it. Whatever it was that you were holding on to at that point in time, yeah, this is definitely going into the mini reads. Who are we kidding? It was definitely holding you back at that time. I don't care if it was the most incredible connection with the most drama. Whatever it was, it had to change, and it had to change now, because whatever it was, even to the degree of how much you cared or loved it, trust me, I know. It was something of which you were holding yourself back with. It was a big karmic lesson, and how I think nervous you were to step into the future, the unknown. There's nothing in front of you. There was a ton of excuses being made, nothing that had any sort of solid root. So let's see. What about you in this? It's a soulmate. I really do feel like it's a soulmate, and it's a soulmate journey. Soulmates show up in so many ways, and I say that every time because every time we hear soulmate, we think of love, we think of romance, and that's great, but it's not like that every time. It could be your best friend. It could be your sibling. It could be your classmates. It could be your peers, whatever the case, it could be anybody on the planet. Soulmates show up in so many different dynamic connections. They could even be animals, for God's sakes. That squirrel that you're feeding cashews to, yeah, it could be a soulmate. Trust me, I know how crazy it sounds. However, This, what we're looking at right here, it's definitely soulmate. So what is going on with this? They had a lot to learn. And you wanna know what? I'm going to say that you do too. God, so many cards just flipped over. Hold on one second. Yeah, sweetie. Honey, I'm recording. Do you want to say hi to the camera? Well, I'm recording. You can't come in right now. You can say hi to the camera, but you got to wait until I'm done, okay? So Michael's going to say hi. All right, sweet pea. Come say hi. And then you have to hang out. Not in here, but up there, out there.
Hi.
This is Mikey. You guys all know him. You all love him.
Yeah.
You had a half day today, didn't you?
Yeah, in school.
Yeah. Not trying to brag or make you jealous, but he's 4th grade. I love you, sweet pea.
Love you.
I'll let you know when I'm done, all right? He's ticked. Tonight's movie night. All right. You guys had horrible boundaries. I'm never, ever, ever going to tell you to stay in an abusive connection. I'll say that every time too. But there was a ton that both parties needed. There was this idealistic life that was supposed to take place, but neither one of you were ready for it. There was horrible boundaries. I feel like there was probably a lot of gaslighting that was happening, either you to yourself or in this connection. Nobody was seeing eye to eye. There was a lot of projection and idealistic projection, which nobody could uphold in here. And I also see that nothing can grow in that atmosphere. It hurts, it sucks, and I get it. But this, it's whatever the separation phase has been, or however long it's been, understand that it is done with a great reason. Even if you can't see it now, even if you can't see through the pain, it's done for a great reason. And this is very much done for you. It wasn't going to grow. And it's now closing off whatever that separation phase was. And again, this doesn't have to be that one isolated person. This might actually be somebody in your life who you haven't talked to in a while. So again, listen with an open heart and an open mind here. I do feel like it is masculine energy. It doesn't have a gender identity. I do not care. This is a king. Great. It stands for masculinity. Masculine energy is finally starting to hone in their power. Their ships are coming in. They are grounded. They are matured. They are able to withstand pretty much any situation. And I think that in the past it probably would have been, I think that it was probably grossly unstable. And we've all been there, completely at our wits' end. I think that they got a new start, probably at a square one, either in a previous relationship or an opportunity. They had to start over in something, but it was a slow investment. This was a slow turning point, slow growing period for them. So let's see, what does their higher self want to tell you? It was rough. And they felt like they had no choice. There was something that was very bitter. Even though they had the facts in front of them, there's something that was very blinding and bitter. And I think there was a lot of fear involved in this. So whatever their angry reaction was, the underlying reason is usually, no, it's always either fear or hurt. One of those two were going on here. So again, even though it seems personal, like it was out to hurt you, it wasn't. So what does your higher self want to tell you about the situation? So yeah, we can go with the Aquarius card. We are in the age of Aquarius. This could also be Sun, Moon, Rise, Venus. It might be involving that kind of a person or a time frame. But if this is involving you, just know that you have been through the worst. You have every reason to be looking up now, and that things are actually going to be getting better with you. You can, this is the Star card. But I always connect this also with the hope after all the downfall, which it's very positive. So I think that there's something that you can be ready to give as well as disperse elsewhere. There's something that needs to be shared, something that you readily have inside of you, but also I think that there is an ascension experience that is at hand. It feels very pure, and it actually has a sense of, I guess I'll just say, holiness with it. So that's you. Now we need to cut through all the BS on here. We have, I feel like something is very close to you, and I think that it's really working hard to pump it on the brakes. Somebody is making a movement towards you, and they want to come with the truth, but they feel like you completely forgot about them. Like you're not even looking at them. Little do they know it's not true. So they're very nervous and coming towards you. It feels like they're very timidly coming forward. I love the humility here. I also love that somebody is going, wait, not so fast. This might not be well received. No. All this person wants is the truth, honesty, integrity. Okay. This keeps showing up. Somebody has really changed, and they didn't have any other choice. There was a huge wrath that seems to have gone on here. Somebody was holding back the truth because they thought that they were doing some sort of a public service. Nah. Nope. All sorts of nope. They also feel like they had to do that because they were stuck. See what I mean? Even when it seems brutal and painful and hurtful, when somebody either seems like they forget about you or like they don't even care, there's so much that is going beyond their eyes. That's the best I got for it. I know it sounds campy, but that's what I got for you. All right. So now that we know what your higher self wants you to know and what their higher self wants you to know, let's see what are some things that we should probably work on avoiding, just so we don't get stuck in any sort of karma lessons, because I'm sick of karma lessons. Now, the thing is, when you hear karma, when you hear omen, do you ever just like think everything's about to hit the fan? Because it really shows the mindset. Omen and karma are not inherently bad. It's all a matter of, if it's fear, what are you projecting? Why are you projecting it? Where is it coming from? Always look at the source and actually pick that apart. So what do you need to avoid? Some things to avoid is, first off, thinking that this is not what it is, that it's some sort of a huge soul contract that's, just it's karmic and it's never going to be okay. We also have just giving into this lot in life. Like, this is what I got to settle for. This is all I can have. This is all the joy that I get to be. We have the world. Your world is not meant to be pain. Your world is not meant to just sacrifice yourself. You didn't come into life just to be a sacrifice to some sort of a tyrant-like energy. F that noise. F that noise. F it all. And yes, I'm being very G with my cussing because, kiddos. Also, hey, Rory in the UK, little kiddo. We have a third-party situation that you are hung up on. Not Rory, but, if you're watching this, if you found your glorious way across this, chances are there's something that is involving a third-party situation, some sort of a dynamic affair. So what we are avoiding is thinking that you're going to get into that trap, that this is all that there is. You can't enter this in with fear. This is one of those scenarios where you have to enter in possibility with an open heart and trust. Trust needs to be reestablished. Go in with the benefit of the doubt, if nothing else. So what I have here is thinking that there is going to be backlash. Do not step in preparing for a war. Nobody's going to bite your head off. I know that there's a third-party situation involved. I know that there's a fear of losing control and having others overpower you, but that's not a place where you enter in. You can't enter in with your head covered. You have to enter in confident. So I have these cards in front of me. What are some things that you have to look forward to? It's not over. It's not over. I see surrender happening. It's not taking off yet. There's a lot of hesitance. There's a lot of remorse that is being shown. And I think that this is groveling at divine feminine. You don't need to do that. Or you know what? If you are divine feminine, somebody's going to be groveling at your feet. And they don't need to do it. Somebody's very apologetic. And they're afraid that divine feminine is going to bite their head off. They're very sad. They don't want to hurt anymore. They don't want to hurt you. They're not sure if they can. There's a lot of timidness to look forward to. And oh my God, I'm tired of the timidness. Knock it off. Look, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This is going to be a challenge to even pick back up. It's not the challenge that you think, though. It's like everybody's walking on eggshells for the wrong reasons. They're afraid that they're going to be stomped out with this one. No. All people want in this is the truth. And now I'm hearing that stupid line, you can't handle the truth. The heck you can't handle the truth. That's all you can handle. The only thing that you can't handle anymore is another lie. If there's another lie that is caught moving forward, heads are going to roll. I'm just going to say it like that. If you are the embodiment of the divine feminine aspect right now, know that this is going to take a lot of concentration and self-preservation, because I think that you're going to potentially be feeling their agitated, nervous energy, and you're going to be taken on as your own. Recognize what is your energy. It's going to make sense to your environment, not the agitation. So, what are some other things that you need to look forward to? In a positive way. Yes, I talk with my hands a lot. Something's growing. The void. Okay. The void is growing. Something is filling in the void. One more card from here, and it's nourishment. Yes, I'm taking from the bottom. So, there is a void that is being filled. It has to be you filling in your own void. It cannot be another person. You have been growing in those blank spots where you would normally have another person or a situation. There's nothing that can fill a void in you. What you have to look forward to is a reestablishment of boundaries. And this is going to be a very productive and very progressive connection that is coming into play. I keep having something in my eye. Arrgh. This is something that can be taken care of by all parties involved. It connects. And you want to know what? This is going to be something that both parties involved need to nourish. It's something that you need to care for. This is a little nest egg. It feels very beautiful and it feels very fulfilling. I see the fruits of the labor being paid off. The situation is de-escalating. There is a lot of things that are being released onto you. You have something that is being released to you. Not that you have to do it. You've already done the releasing, and I know how much that probably hurt. Somebody could have been triggered. Somebody could have had a lot of, whatever it was, people had more lessons that they had to learn. So, you beautiful beast, what do you need to know? Saints and angels, here we go. Actually, is that what I want? No, I want the Halloween oracle. What do you need to know from the Halloween oracle? Sit down, sit pretty, listen, listen. I'm ready for the weekend, are you? We have joy. Fortune meets opportunity. There is a huge fated encounter, meeting, timing, all of that. This is luck, baby. Like, you should probably, this is the equivalent of circumstance is like winning the lottery. I think that you might actually bump into somebody. And then we, God, I hate this so much. Remember, it doesn't have to be romantic. Remember, it doesn't have to be romantic. I think I may be telling myself this as much as I'm telling you this. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic. Okay, you took your eye off of something, didn't you? Did you give up? Did you give in? Probably. Now look what happened. Something is showing up. I know. I'm just as frustrated as you are. But this is something that is huge divine, and it's eternal love. It is luck, it is joy, and it's coming in from the blind spots. You took your eye off of it, and here's your gift. Again, it's going to take time to foster. It is going to take everybody involved to nurture. There needs to be an establishment of boundaries, truth, integrity. It needs to be a safe spot where you can share that truth and not be punished. The punishment has got to be over. So this has been the weekend reading. This is either happening now or it's about to happen. Somebody is reaching out to somebody. Somebody's bumping into somebody. There's a huge divine encounter here. Embrace it. And I know that this is going to be nervous energy. Embrace it. Your individual storyline will always be more detailed, in-depth, and intense. So if you have questions about your own circumstance and booking a session, see what's happening in life with you, or about any of the services I provide and what might be right for you, about sales and, time zones, see what might be right for you. Anyways, reach out in the provided email address. Find me on the social platform, send me a DM. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, until next time, stay safe, have fun, and just know that you are greatly loved and appreciated. This is incredible. You have so much to look forward to, not with just this, but I think a lot of hard times are probably over. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges. Please, it's not going to be rose-colored glasses. Life happens. But this is really cool. I look forward to seeing you next time. Stay safe, have fun. Know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Have a nice day. Hey there, beautiful. If you have found your way across this, we're going to be getting a mini message. It's general collective. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. I don't think this is going to stay lit. We're going to do this again because I can. Boop. All right, what do you need to know other than the fact that I'm having a hard time lighting incense right now? Yeah, I know, I probably should fast forward through this, but I'm not gonna. You wanna know why? Because I don't got it. All right, gorgeous. What do you need to know if you found your way across this? All right, new seeds are being planted. What are you growing in your garden? Better be very careful with this time frame. I love this. This is going to involve a lot of discipline on your behalf, but I think that you're gonna want this discipline, baby. You have every single tool to manifest this gorgeous garden. I'm feeling passion, I'm feeling drive, I'm feeling this plane of innocence with this. I feel like this is a collective all in one for you. We have fire, we have water, we have earth, and we have air. All of it in one awesome circular motion, as above, so below. Everything is coming together in this. All right, we have the Death card in reverse. Why? Something isn't coming to an end. Okay. There's somebody in your life who you've been at odds with. It's a huge, huge karmic lesson. And I also feel like this is a karmic connection. Something hasn't quite come to a close now, has it? So we have the Two of Cups in reverse. You and somebody are not on good terms right now. It's important that you look at this from a different angle. I don't think that this connection is over. I think that you guys are at complete opposites right now. Communication is going to be something that has to be done at a different angle in order to work this out. But I see both parties in this really do want to work this out. This isn't over. This is a huge gap in time between you guys, but I see the drive and the magnetic connection bringing you guys back together, as long as it's not abusive or toxic, please, for the love of God. But I see that somebody who you've been at odds with for quite some time wants to start something new, and it looks pretty successful moving forward. It's going to be different than before. I'm looking at this through an entirely different angle. I hope that made sense. Hey there, gorgeous. If you found your way across this, there's been a challenge, clearly, or some sort of altercation. We're going to look more into it. But this is screaming, oppressive, defensive, all of the above. Another 5. All right. What is this in regard to? 3 of Cups fallen over in front. Starting something new, but you're insecure. Oh, you're not over what happened. You're not. And I see that either you or them or all parties involved are dwelling on it. I see a crazy new beginning, but there's a huge insecurity around it. You guys have been on quite a journey for a while. I think the energies that are finding each other, it's turning into the 2 of Cups. So while you've been focusing on what has fallen down, something has been sneaking up behind you, and it seems like a positive surprise. You're just not ready to look at it yet. Everything that has transpired, it's going to be water under the bridge at some point. This, I think that you're afraid to get lost in your feelings again for a soulmate connection. Doesn't have to be romantic. It can be something that is beautifully kindred. But whatever this is, you are nervous to open your heart up. And I get it. Been there completely. This is going to be a long journey for you guys. It does look like the future is bright for it, but there's a lot of hurdles that you two are going to be overcoming in here. I don't see anybody running away from it. I think that you are testing the waters right now. And again, all you have is time, but I don't see anybody running. I see the feeling in here is mutual, and I see that this is pretty emotional and fiery for both of you. Something might be boiling over. This could be either a new connection, soulmate connection, or this could be one of those triggering soulmate connections that you already have. You guys may have been in verbal separation for a while, or you guys may have ended things poorly before, but it's coming back around again. Somebody is going to make communication, so it's either you or them, but follow your gut on this, okay? It's not over. Hey there, sunshine. If you found your way across this, looks like somebody is giving in. Finally. What is it involving? I want more cards on this because I don't want you to feel like you're relapsing in anything. If you are at risk for a relapse right now, you have your resources. Use your resources to avoid some sort of pitfall. Somebody is at risk of going back into a pattern, and it looks like this could cost somebody something. There's a huge trigger right now that feels like major insecurity. I want one more. There's something that you don't want to face, but you have to understand that what you want is on the other side of this. The very feeling that you are looking for is on the other side of all this. You have to wait this out. I don't want you to slip back into a painful pattern, a negative pattern, whether it's abusive or some sort of substance or some sort of self-deprecation. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. This is telling you to avoid it. There is something to be lost in here. It could be finances, it could be a person, it could even be yourself. Whatever it is, I want you to pay attention to whatever your triggers are. You need to use whatever your support system is. If you don't have one, it is your time to reach out. But this isn't a time for you to fall down. There's this feeling that something has passed you by. No. There's something that you need to let go of, and I think that it's probably a projection or mindset that is involving you. Like there's nothing to be learned or nothing to gain. That is not you. That is something that somebody who you had probably looked up to had said as a way of maybe not intentionally hurting you, but it looks like somebody has verbally or physically done something that has been a negative impact on you. But this is what I'm getting in here, the time to be very mindful of what you could be slipping back into as a bad behavioral pattern or a negative behavioral pattern or a major challenge for you, and do whatever it takes to avoid it. I hope that made sense. And if you don't know, actively know what your resources are, start looking online because you are well worth moving forward. I really hope that made sense. Hey there, love. So I just posted a pretty intense message and I really want to change the vibe on this. So I'm going with the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. Spirit, what is that? The person who stumbled across this? What do you need to hear? What is coming your way? Boundaries. Okay. Boundaries are good. Boundaries are bountiful. Yes. The situation is de-escalating. I know that the numbers are going up, but the phase of the moon is something that is getting smaller. Talking about boundaries and wisdom. Then we have power. It's not a negative thing. It doesn't mean that you're being too much of anything. Let me see. Nourishment. This is a time to really focus and take care of yourself. You have to make yourself the main focus right now. You can't put it into any one person. You can't put it into any one thing. You are not here to put it all in that basket. This is a time for you to pull back your energy field. Look at yourself. What are you craving, needing? What needs to be taken care of in your world? How do you put yourself out there? How much access do you allow people to have to you? Now, having access to you is not a negative thing, but the extensive amount that people can use and not replenish or give back or draw the line on is something that is extensively draining. So what I'm seeing here is know what your limits are with people, situations, things. Learn to pull back. You're not being a jerk. You're not being closed off. You're not being any of those things. Trust me on this. This is for your own mental health, and it is so worth taking care of, and it's so worth this. So I see that you'll be finding your ground, your center, and I think you'll start to feel better with this. So thank God. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but I think that that's because you never really asserted yourself in this particular direction. I don't think that it'll be negatively received. I think that it'll probably be an initial shock, but understood. So draw the line, push back, and feel better about this situation. I really hope that it made sense. It's not too much to ask, not in the making sense, but in respecting what your needs and lines are. Hey there, beautiful. If you found your way across this, I think we're going to be getting another message from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Listen with an open heart and an open mind. Go grab your food, your drink. Let's hang out for a minute or three. Action. There's inspired action that's coming in. Time for you to make a move. Okay, hang on. So then we have, it's time to let something go with gratitude. It has its own journey to go on. This this might be divine masculine energy. Don't overthink it. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. Somebody who's embodying the majority of their masculinity needs to be released right now because they have a journey that they have to go on that you kind of can't help them with, which is fine and dandy. I want you to know that this is done with a loving heart. Nobody's being abandoned in this. This isn't about abandoning. It's about not even sacrificing. It's about recognizing the triggers and the growth and the little phase that somebody has to go through and honoring where they are in their journey, releasing them, knowing that they are not fully gone, knowing that they are definitely, oh God, yeah, definitely coming back. There's a huge potential of that. This inspired action, this might involve you saying goodbye for now. This might involve you, I guess, not responding to either an email or a text, not ghosting them. There's a parting of ways that is temporary. It's necessary for you because something has been overwhelming you. Now this, it feels like the masculine energy. It's not toxic, it's overbearing right now. So somebody, it has some really major triggers that are going on. Okay, I want clarification on what happens after this. Focus, okay. On what? Realization. Realization and God. Okay, if you're catching this, chances are you are divine feminine energy, which again, we all have this inside of us. This is not a negative thing. This has been stifling energy towards you, so you had to let go of the masculine to understand and know what self-love is for yourself and how resilient you are. You have to realize that you don't need somebody to complete you, how you don't need to just have somebody's energy around you just to have it. It's also realizing the potential and growth that needs to happen in both parties so that it could come together and be even better than what it was before. Very empowered, free, and loving. So your self-love shows up as the second video. Okay, this is going to be 2 videos. It is what it is. Okay, so the self-love with you. You are probably looking for validation from somebody who you very genuinely love and care about them, but the masculine, it cannot substitute the love that you need to have for yourself. And I really hope that I don't sound contrived in saying that, because God knows that I have wanted that validation from another person. And when you live for that and you try to experience it through another person, I still feel like I have to hold up the cards because chances are it looks like I'm just talking to you. When you live through that validation of somebody else, it is going to eventually let you down. It's not if it lets you down, it is when it'll let you down, because you cannot live through somebody else's. This all has to stem through the internal you. There's something inside that you feel that you miss and that you lack, that you're looking for in another person. And it's beautiful and it's poetic. It's just not realistic for the consistency and for what you want to do, not only in this life, but in this time frame, especially with this person. So the biggest thing that this is going to set you up with is resilience, freedom, self-realization, and self-love, and that fulfillment. So there isn't a dire need for somebody to fill in a boot that really belongs to your foot. That makes sense. So I know how that sounds, but I need you to understand that this is done for your highest good, for their highest good. The feelings that parties have for each other in this are very genuine and very real, even in their upsets. So while you guys are holding that space and loving each other, it is time for you guys to have your own individual growths, experience life on those levels, have that self-discovery and come into your own centers, and then have life magnetize you guys back together. It's not goodbye forever. It's goodbye for right now. And it might not even be a complete goodbye. There still might be minimal communication going on, and that's fine. You might see that they're either liking your stories or that they're checking something out. It doesn't matter. Just understand that it's not going to be where it was for a little bit, because it needs to come back as something even stronger individually for you. All right. It's a challenge. but it's well worth it. Your growth, their growth, whatever this connection dynamic is, it's very important for all parties involved.